What's your craziest dream that you've ever had?
Once I had a dream about I saw a rainbow and I followed the rainbow like all the way to the end, like to see like where it led. And at the end of the rainbow there were 3 cats. They're all different colors of the rainbow. And they had their mouths open and they were like standing still and they had the rainbow like shooting out of their mouths. And it was pretty ridiculous and crazy.
I was walking across the Arctic plains followed by a bunch of penguins.
I had a dream once that at my birthday party there was giant worms just like chasing everyone. So that was pretty weird.
Definitely flying a helicopter into space, not dying, and then meeting aliens. That was fun.
Bro, this one time that I dreamed I was recruited into the mafia, and there was like all these different like people from different mob movies.
It was after a pretty traumatic experience, and I was like traveling through the universe trying to find out who I was. And it was like a continuous dream that lasted for like 3 days in a row. It sucked.
In high school, I had this dream where I was on my way to math class and the bell rang, and I really had to use the bathroom, but I was like having an existential crisis over whether I wanted to get to math class just on time or actually, be comfortable.
I was kind of half awake. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning. In my dream, she was walking up the stairs carrying a pizza. And she walked into my room with this pizza. She said, "Hey, we gotta go to the dentist. I got you this pizza for breakfast." I heard her walking up the stairs. That was what my mind filled in the blank. That was the dream. And I think it's such a strange example of what your mind can kind of do while you're sleeping, to kind of like fill in the blank.
I had a dream that green dinosaur from the Wiggles was chasing me, my brother, and my cousin through the house that we stay at. And eventually she catches my brother and my cousin, and I escape. And she's asking questions like, "Oh, are you tender? Are you juicy?" And they're like, "Yeah."
There in the moonlight, it was Dorothy the dinosaur.
It was a fucking weird dream.
I was like on a beach at some resort. It was when I was on vacation, and I really wanted to meet friends, and like I think I wanted to meet a girl, and then I ended up like, there were like tidal waves, and everyone was in the water, and they were like holding onto these nets. They were like volleyball nets in the water, and tidal waves kept pushing us, and we had to jump over the waves, and then it like brought us to the shore, and then would just pull us back out. It was really exhausting, and it was just like climbing up over these things to get over the waves, and then they stopped, and then I was in a completely different spot, and there was like a lot of trash in the water.
Oh, a sleep dream? Sometimes I'm riding whales. It usually involves me riding some kind of big beast of war in the battle, whether it's an elephant or a whale or some kind of magical elephant whale from the future that looks like a giant walrus.
What are your spring break plans?
I'm going skiing, so I'm excited about that.
I'm gonna go to South Beach.
Well, I'm teaching myself a programming language. That'll be fun.
I plan on going to Florida, and I'm just going to be going to Punta Gorda, and I'm just going to be spending the whole week with my boyfriend, so pretty fun.
On Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I intend to visit my old high school, and for the rest of the week, I'm probably going to try to get ahead on my work.
I do have spring break plans. I'm writing my honors thesis that I've kind of been putting off, so I literally need to put about 40 hours into the more research and writing. So that's like Monday through Friday paper. That's it.
Pretty much St. Patrick's Day parade hopping. I'm going to go get drunk in Newport and try not to get in trouble, although I always usually do, whether it's with the law or with my friends or with my parents or with myself or something, but we're going to have a good time nonetheless. Drink a bunch of tequila and run around and go cuckoo bananas. And then I'm going to fly down to Savannah and we're going to go Savannah bananas.
Meditate, walk, get drunk, and watch Scott Pilgrim with people.
And what's your best memory that you've had from this year so far?
I went to Canada for 43 minutes, and I never thought I'd be asked by U.S. Customs what I was doing in Canada for 43 minutes.
Memory I had this year was seeing Tycho at the House of Blues in Boston with one of my best friends, and it was the most beautiful and calming experience, and like culminated after a stressful summer, and like brought me back down into the person I am today.
I'm a little jealous of it, but he did a Jeep leap so that we could get to a party and do a performance, and I'm forever indebted to him because it was dope. He jumped the Jeep over the snowbank, and it was just like, it was like a movie. It was sweet.
Good memories from, yeah, a lot of them happen right here in the 193 Coffee House.
Because I work at the coffee house, we get together and do events, and one of the things we did was during winter break we all got together and went down to New Hampshire, and we just hung out in a cabin in the woods. I got to walk in a frozen lake. We thought of it, well, some people thought it was haunted because we kept making jokes about like the cabin in the woods type deal. Allie got really paranoid because she took things from the basement and then the lights were still on, but everyone thought we turned off the lights. I ended up grabbing a piece of wood and like escorting her along with Jared and Jordan down to the basement to return the items.
Halloween weekend was pretty crazy. I was a Girl Scout and I was wearing an authentic sash that I had with all my badges on it from when I was a little kid.
I would have to say a couple of months ago when two of my friends and I sort of arranged an impromptu lunch gathering at a Thai restaurant in the Emporium. And I'm not entirely sure how, but it dissolved into us singing different language versions of Let It Go.
The craziest dream I've ever had. When I was a little boy, I wanted to be a golfer really bad. I wanted to be a golfer. I saw all the golfers on TV. Everybody always said I looked like Tiger Woods, like a young Tiger Woods. I mean, I don't look like him so much anymore. It's upsetting. But I always wanted to be a golfer, and that was a pretty crazy dream because I was never able to hit a golf ball. I don't know. It was like I'd get sudden onset vertigo and not be able to hit the ball, so I never got to, get to my dream of being the next Arnold Palmer, I wanted people to go to the store, but they bought some, mixture of some crazy drink, and it'd be called the Emo Drayton, and it'd be me on the cover golfing instead of that bastard Arnold Palmer. I don't really like the lemonade iced tea mixing idea. I think they should be separate.